Chapter 174, Interception, by the top 5. Kang Chon was still advancing slowly as he meditated on the ice heart technique. His eyes were like icy blades as he took one step at a time, gritting his teeth as he ruthlessly ascended to the next rung of the ladder. Boom! A wave of unrivaled idea attacks swept over. Powerful ideas gathered and took shape in the sky, transforming into a sharp sword, piercing towards Kang Chon. This scene was loud and powerful. The huge energy was like a rushing flood, sweeping over the sky. Idea transformation, 50% realm. Kang Chon could not help but be shocked at the same time, clenching his teeth, transporting his entire body's strength, placing both of his feet, ruthlessly stepping on the current ladder, as if he was going to sink both of his feet deeply into it. He mobilized his entire intention, like a blade, and fiercely met it. After this month's honing, Kang Chon's intent was not without progress. He had now reached the peak 40% realm, and was not far from the 50% intent. 50% idea transformation. This was a qualitative change. The further back the level of idea, each layer was very different. A strong person with 50% idea, just a single idea pressure, is enough to make a strong person of the same level to be inferior. Just like that Wuxia, just by placing a single idea on Yan Yan's body, it is enough to make some of the strongest people of the potential dragon ranking undefeatable. Moreover, when an idea reaches the 50% realm, it can already take shape and attack the enemy, which is a spiritual level attack on the enemy, and ordinary physical defenses are simply unable to withstand it. It was that Kang Chon's physical body was even more powerful. Once an out-of-body stage powerhouse attacked him with his will, he would immediately have his soul scattered. This was the power of a 50% will. Clatter! The huge intent swept in, like a great mountain collapsing. Countless falling rocks descended from the sky, and Kang Chon's entire body was instantly engulfed. Hold on, must hold on. Kang Chon clenched his teeth, his defeat firmly imprisoning the ground tightly, his eyes blooming with determination. Boom! The unrivaled intent crashed him fiercely. Kang Chon felt his entire mind roar. His blade intent was instantly crushed. The powerful impact caused Kang Chon to spit out a mouthful of purple blood. Hold on. Kang Chon's eyes were filled with purple light. The whole person seemed to have turned into a general sharp blade, ruthlessly fixed on top of the ladder, letting the unrivaled intent attack come, but also firmly stood still. This is a kind of confrontation, is the heaven and 50% of the idea of confrontation, and he cannot use the true essence to resist, because once the true essence will violate the rules of the ladder of heaven, was instantly passed back to the ground. The ladder of heaven also failed. The test of this level was intention. Kang Chon clenched his teeth and held on. He didn't dare to advance any further. He could only hold on to this ladder and wait until he had adapted to this powerful attack of intent before advancing back up. Time passes slowly. In a blink of an eye 2 months have passed, in which Kang Chon's idea is getting stronger and stronger. Seems to be close to 50% idea, but he has never broken through. Seems to have encountered a bottleneck. In the 3 months of ascending the heavenly ladder, Jin San Xiao and the others are also slowly approaching Kang Chon. They have already traveled to the 2500th floor and should be able to reach the top in another 2 months. Even Wuxia had also comprehended the idea at the first 1000th floor, gradually catching up with the speed of the crowd. Kang Chon, on the other hand, had continued to hone his intentions during these 2 months, striking towards the 50% realm, knowing that he could reach the 50% realm at any time, just missing the last step of chance. After another month, Lei Yun finally arrived at Kang Chon's side. He looked at Kang Chon in his closed eyes with some surprise and wondered, what's going on? How did Kang Chon stop here for more than just a moment? Could it be that the next layer is very tough? Just at the extreme of doubt in his heart, Kang Chon's eyes opened steeply, and instantly, to purple rays ****** came out. And at this moment, the Guardian Elder and the Law Enforcement Elder in the sky above the square also opened their eyes at the same time. And the two of them looked at Kang Chon in surprise, saying, "A breakthrough. A breakthrough so soon." As their words fell, Kang Chon took a single step upwards, his powerful intent transforming into a brilliant blade that ruthlessly impacted upwards. Thundercloud on the side was completely stunned. Boom! Shocking thunder exploded in Kang Chon's mind, like a sharp blade that was instantly sheathed, as a matchless sharpness tore through the void, erupting from his body and violently piercing through the heavens. Kang Chon's huge idea coalesced into shape at this moment, transforming into a cold blade that cut through the void to meet him head-on. Ideas taking shape. This was definitely an idea taking shape. Thundercloud on the side was stunned. He looked at this scene with a face full of unbelief. Idea transformation. This was the sign of reaching the 50% realm of ideas are. Kang Chon had actually broken through to the 50% realm in an ascension staircase. Not only is this pervert's cultivation rising quickly, even the speed of comprehending intentions is so perverse. After Lei Yun was shocked, there was a burst of speechlessness. He felt that he should not compare himself with Kang Chon. It was too devastating. A moment later, Kang Chon operated the blade of intent, crushing the intent attacks in front of him. But in the blink of an eye, he disappeared between the clouds and mist, entering a higher level. Lei Yun looked at Kang Chon's back and shook his head for a while, then continued his own test. Several days later, Kang Chon stood on top of a peak, looking down at the 3,612 steps of the heaven, ascending stairs beneath his feet. After comprehending 50% of his intent, the intent attack of the heaven ascending stairs was no longer useful to him, and in just a few days' time, it allowed him to ascend to the peak and pass the test. On top of this cold and windy lonely peak, there was a teleportation array, and next to it, there was a message that recorded this teleportation array. The very same teleportation array that traveled to the Yuanying stage of space. And now, more than 8 months had passed since Kang Chon had entered the middle of the Heavenly Dao Demon sealing list. According to what Lei Broken Sky had said back then, as long as he entered the Yuanying stage space within a year, he would already be a disciple of the Heavenly Dao sect and could apply to withdraw from the Heavenly Dao Demon sealing list. "Quit," Kang Chon murmured, then smiled with his strength. Wouldn't he be an idiot if he didn't go and break into the demon locking tower? Swish swish, Kang Chon merged his fingers like swords, and the sword light ***** came out, carving some words and phrases on the earth under his feet. Then, he glanced at the heaven ascension ladder under the clouds, and then flew into the teleportation array, disappearing in a burst of brilliant light. Kang Chon knew that the next one to ascend would inevitably be Thundercloud, so he left a message telling Jin San Xiao that they had gone ahead of him. Swish, after Kang Chon left, two golden figures descended and watched as Kang Chon disappeared in the teleportation array. These two people were none other than the Guardian Elder and the Law Enforcement Elder. I'm really looking forward to the Demon Locking Tower battle, this time more and more. I wonder what kind of performance these little fellows can put up, the Guardian Elder said with a smile as he carried his hands behind his back. The Law Enforcement Elder on the side had a cold gaze and said indifferently, in terms of strength, Dao Yi is the strongest, and the three of them, Wuxia, Easy, and Zhao Wuji, are in between. Interesting. Looks like your future disciple has run into trouble. Suddenly, the Guardian Elder let out a light heap. The light in the Law Enforcement Elder's eyes immediately shone brightly, as if he had pierced through the layers of space and looked into the Yuanying stage space. As he smiled coldly and said, "If he can't even survive this kind of test, then he doesn't deserve to be my disciple." 5 strong men from the top 20 of the subterranean dragon rankings around and there. is also a strongman who is not a strongman on the subterranean dragon ranking, but is comparable to the top 10 of the subterranean dragon ranking, intercepting him. I wonder if it will be possible to force out this brat's full strength. The Guardian Elder smiled faintly at his words. Let's wait and see. The Law Enforcement Elder smiled faintly, then shattered the void and disappeared. The Guardian Elder smiled gently and disappeared as well. Above the heaven-ascending staircase, Lei Yun was only 100 or so final flights of steps away from reaching the top. Snort. Hot magma flowed on the ground. Volcanoes erupted continuously in the distance, and scorching waves of air raged throughout space. It was a crimson fiery world. Is this the Yuanying stage space? In a teleportation formation, Kang Chon's figure slowly appeared, his face astonished, as he looked at a crimson world in front of him. The Jidan stage space was a world of water, while the Yuanying stage space was a world of fire. It was truly marvelous. Worthy of being an imperial treasure weapon, this heavenly Dao demon sealing list is really incomparably subtle, Kang Chon thought in his heart. This senior brother. Just at this moment, a light laughter came from the side. Kang Chon was surprised to look, but it was a white-clothed youth who was smilingly looking towards. To be able to enter the Yuanying stage space within a year, congratulations, you are already a disciple of the Heavenly Dao sect. My name is Lin Feng. I am also an outer disciple of the Heavenly Dao sect. For the time being, I will trust in you to call you senior brother. The white-clothed youth laughed. Kang Chon meets senior brother Lin. Kang Chon saluted at his words, but in his heart, he was a little shocked. Although this person in front of him was only at the peak of the 9th level of the Jidan stage, cultivation, but his strength was so strong that he vaguely had the feeling of being undefeated, and this made him very alarmed. To know, with Kang Chon's realm cultivation today, there are already few enemies under the Yuanying stage, but this person in front of him even stronger than him. This is undoubtedly a shock to Kang Chon. It seems that there are not a few geniuses within the Heavenly Dao sect. Kang Chon, you're Kang Chon. Lin Feng couldn't help but be surprised at what he heard. Then he took a closer look at Kang Chon and laughed. No wonder you're so strong. So you're Kang Chon, but I've heard a long time ago that Wuxia is already waiting for you to fight before the demon locking pagoda. Someone who can make Wuxia treat him like that is really not to be underestimated. Wuxia, the light in Kang Chon's eyes flashed as soon as he entered the Yuanying stage space. He knew that the biggest enemy he faced was Wuxia, this second strongest person in the submerged dragon ranking was already immortal with him. Even though the two sides had yet to meet, the scandal had already been forged long ago. All right, according to the rules, senior brother, you now have two choices. One is to withdraw from the Heavenly Dao demon sealing list and become a miscellaneous disciple of the Heavenly Dao sect. That is, the lowest level outer disciple. The second is to head to the demon locking tower. As long as you can arrive at the demon locking tower alive within 3 years, you will be an elite disciple of the Heavenly Dao sect, and if you can enter the demon locking tower, then you will become an outstanding disciple. Lin Feng looked towards the heavens and said, I choose to travel to the demon locking tower. Kang Chon replied without thinking. The joke was, even with Wuxia as his enemy, he wouldn't give up on the demon locking tower. After all, he didn't want to become a chore disciple. Good. Here is the map to the demon locking tower. Be careful yourself. Lin Feng seemed to have guessed Kang Chon's answer. As soon as Kang Chon's words fell, a jade slip appeared in his hand, which contained the map to the demon locking tower. When Kang Chon received the map, he couldn't help but wonder. Getting the map to the demon locking tower so easily, this level of the test was too simple. I'm afraid that he would be able to make it to the demon locking tower within a month. But when Kang Chon's divine thoughts probed into the jade slip, he immediately knew how idiotic his thoughts were. Although this map was very detailed, there were constant crises on the road to the demon locking tower. and there were too many Yuanying stage demonic beasts to deal with in it, so even if you were given the right path, you wouldn't be able to make it to the demon locking tower in a short period of time. And if you weren't careful, you might even die at the hands of those Yuanying stage demonic beasts blocking the way. Senior brother, work hard. I hope to see you in the Heavenly Dao sect, Lin Feng said with a smile. Definitely will. Kang Chon nodded, and then followed the direction marked on the map.